What's up, guys? It's Danny
And Wednesday.
and Charlotte from the Lassercast, and we are here to talk about Wednesday episodes 1 through 4 on Netflix. Still can't snap, can you?
Still can't snap.
You'd never get past that statue of Edgar Allan Poe. This show came out in late November, and Charlotte and I just finished episodes 1 through 4, and we're going to do a couple of reviews this one, and then we're going to finish episodes 5 through 8 and review that in a few days. As far as our channel goes, Pete is always putting out brand new author interviews. He interviewed the legendary director and writer Tom Holland a few days ago, and that is up on our channel. We've also been covering the amazing podcast Quiet Part Loud from Monkey Paw Productions, which is Jordan Peele's company. And I will be attending the New York City Horror Film Festival this coming weekend, and I'll have a ton of reviews coming out of that film festival as well. But anyway, we watched Wednesday 1 through 4, and these episodes are really funny in just the way that they are titled. So the episodes of 1 through 4 are titled Murder of Woes, Woe is the Loneliest Number, Friend or Woe, and Whoa, What a Night. You could tell they kind of have a thing going with woe. So what do you think? What is your opinion of the show so far? 4 episodes in. Do you like it? What do you think of it?
I like it.
You could talk out of character if you want.
I like it.
You like it?
I love Wednesday. I love
Jenna
Ortega. Okay. Because I know she played in Scream.
It's funny. The mid-year review that Pete and I did for the Lassercast, I called Jenna Ortega the mid-season MVP of 2022. And that was because of her performances in Scream, her performance in X. She had a blink and you miss it kind of role in Studio 666, which is a very underrated horror film that came out this year with the, I forgot the name of the band. What's, oh my God, my brain is just fried. Dave Grohl's band, the Foo Fighters. Thank you. The Foo Fighters horror movie, Studio 666. She also did a great movie called The Fallout, which is not a horror movie, which came out on streaming this year. And so she was my mid-year MVP. And then she comes back in the second half of the year, and she is in one of our, I think we could safely call this one of our favorite shows of the year. I know for you, Stranger Things is still up there, right?
It's my number one.
Yeah.
And will never change.
Never, ever, ever. But yes, this is pretty much up there for me. I really enjoyed this show from the beginning through where we are.
Number 4.
I was a little hesitant to start the show because the episodes are 45 minutes each. I was like, do I really need another 8 episodes, 45 minutes an episode series?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I guess I do, because the episodes really do fly by, and they really hook you right away. And Jenna Ortega is this show. She is the whole show. Yes, it's called Wednesday, of course, but it's an Addams Family show. They really only show the rest of the Addams Family for what, like 5 minutes?
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's only the first part. Do you want to tell them, like,
Well, we haven't watched the rest of the show yet.
Yes. How does she defend her brother Pugsley in the first episode? You remember what she does?
By putting piranhas in the pool.
You're going to do this whole video in character, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll break character once in a while.
Okay. Yeah, she puts the piranhas in the swimming pool. She gets kicked out of school, and she's forced by her parents, played really well by Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia and Luis Guzman as Gomez. She's forced to go to Nevermore Academy, which is a Edgar Allan Poe inspired school for outcasts. They call
Whoa.
Exactly. They call everybody like normies and outcasts. And what did we say? We brought this up a lot in the first 4 episodes. What does this show kind of remind us of?
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Do you want to detail some of the connections?
The castle-looking school thing looks really like Harry Potter's castle, Hogwarts. I don't know how to say it, but like they turn into creatures. Hey, they can turn into creatures. There's werewolves. There's sirens.
Like the different cliques in the school kind of end up coming across as like the 4 schools in Hogwarts.
Yeah. Like this group.
There's a oh my God, Kat, seriously. There's a even like the characters, not Wednesday particularly, but the fact that like there's one girl who right from the beginning, a girl named Bianca, played really well by Joy Sunday. She becomes like the Draco of the show almost immediately after you meet her. Like her and Wednesday are antagonistic to each other right away. They get into this huge fencing battle. You have the classes are very similar. Christina Ricci, the OG Wednesday from the 1990s Addams Family movies.
Is the plant teacher. Carnivore plants.
Carnivorous
plants.
Carnivore? Yeah. And like we even made the joke that reminded us of like Mrs. Sprout in her herbology in Hogwarts.
I look terrible in pigtails.
No, you don't. You don't look terrible anytime. But we need to bring it up. This show is done, of course, by Tim Burton. Danny Elfman does the music. The music is great for the first, like, as soon as you hear the first beat of the opening of the first episode.
You can literally tell it's Danny.
Yeah, you almost want to see, like, you expect Jack Skellington to pop out and start singing.
I can take off my head.
The show was created by Alfred Gough and Miles Millar, who have an incredible pedigree in television. They created Smallville, but more for me, they created Into the Badlands, which was one of my favorite shows, probably going back around 3-4 years ago, probably before the pandemic. I was covering that over on Geeks of Doom, and I really enjoy that show. So I really like these creators. I, of course, love Tim Burton, especially.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh.
Yeah, like in many ways, it's kind of baffling that Tim Burton didn't direct the Addams Family movies. That was Barry Sonnenfeld back in, I think, like 90 and 92, 91 and 93, whenever Part 1 and Addams Family Values came out. So what we want to do is quickly, instead of giving you a plot rundown, she ends up going to Nevermore Academy. There's a monster that is lurking in the woods outside. The normies of the town, I think it's called Jericho, right? Jericho, the normies of Jericho, which is the town that Nevermore is right outside of, they have a history, and they don't really like the outcasts. Yes. And again, that kind of made me think of like the whole, Mudblood versus, or Voldemort.
Mudblood versus...
like pure wizard vibe of Harry Potter and the whole
Muggles versus wizards.
Yes, yeah, it very Muggles versus wizarding world kind of stuff. But again, Harry Potter connections aside, the show is so much fun, and it's really because of Jenna Ortega's take on Wednesday. Every line out of her mouth is delivered perfectly. Every line feels quotable. She's not blinking ever, according to social media. She did a take. She did a take where she didn't blink, and Tim Burton was like, "Do that."
I want to talk about the characters.
Yes. So obviously Wednesday, the principal at this school is named Principal Weems, and she's played by Gwendolyn Christie of Game of Thrones. And if you didn't know, she's almost unrecognizable. She does not, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, it's such a departure. She's like bright red lipstick, fancy dresses, fancy clothing.
Speaking of Harry Potter references and similar features, I just see Umbridge. I really just see
Umbridge. Yeah, you called that out right away. You said she reminds you of that.
She's Umbridge to a point.
Let's talk about one of your favorite characters. So Wednesday is dark, disturbed, antisocial, the obvious, all of that good stuff that we remember from Christina Ricci. Jenna Ortega is that, like, dialed up to, like, 13. her roommate perfectly is
Thing.
Enid.
Oh.
Thing.
I love Thing.
Well, Thing is great. But her roommate is Enid, played by Emma Myers. What do you think of Enid?
I love Enid, not just because she's a color, like, TikTok queen, but, like, just because she's so fun and, like, she's played really well. And there's a girl in my school who looks just like Enid. And, like, every time I look at her in school, I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, Enid is the yin to Wednesday's yang. She's the complete opposite. She's super happy. She's the social butterfly. She's the gossip queen of Nevermore Academy.
TikTok for life.
She's a hugger. She wants, our favorite scene in the first 4 episodes is...
We recreate it.
They form this really cool little bond, even though Wednesday doesn't want to admit that she has a friend in Enid. And Enid goes in for a hug, and Wednesday just, like, reviles back. And we had to pause it because we were laughing so hard. Again, the performances are so good. These actors, they, like, jump into these characters. There's 2 boys on the show who are competing for Wednesday's affection. And those are...
Well, technically, Xavier's not.
Oh, come on, he is.
He literally asked his ex-girlfriend to make him forget.
Yeah, because he likes her. Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
I mean, don't you remember they were supposed to go to the dance together?
They were, okay. So, yes, Xavier.
Xavier, played by Percy Hines White, is a student at Nevermore. He's an outcast, but he's like the dark, brooding artist. And there's this monster in the woods, and we find out that Xavier is seeing visions of this monster. Speaking of visions, we didn't even mention that Wednesday has visions. Yeah, that and these visions seem to be coming true. And we find out that this is something she's developed from her mother, even though she doesn't really want to talk to her mother. She's kind of angry with her parents. The other boy competing for Wednesday's affection is...
A normie. Tyler.
Yes, Tyler, played by Hunter Doohan, who works in the coffee shop in Jericho.
Normies.
And his father is the sheriff. The father makes a big deal about how he knows Gomez from back in the day. He accuses Gomez of being a murderer. But the sheriff is actually kind of working with Wednesday to solve this issue of what the monster is. Wednesday wants to find out what the monster is. There was a boy at her school who accused her of, being out to destroy the school, and he was going to kill her. The monster ends up swooping in and killing him. But then the kid shows up the next day, and he's kind of like a shapeshifter deal. There's a lot that's going to be explained in these next 4 episodes. I feel like these first 4 episodes is the world building. We learn about Jericho, the city. We learn about the founder, who was like this, almost 16th century, 17th century witch-burning pilgrim. And then we learn all about the history of this school, Nevermore Academy, started by Edgar Allan Poe.
So apparently, we learn from the last 4 episodes that if you watch the first 4 episodes, of course you would know this, that it's a human, like somebody is the monster.
Oh, the monster turns out to be some kind of human because the animal prints turn into human prints?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we've been bringing up Christina Ricci. She's in the show as Miss Thornhill. I think we mentioned that, which is always really funny that, to see OG Wednesday and new Wednesday together on screen.
I have a feeling, it's just an instinct. I'm sorry if this is right or wrong, but I feel like maybe the therapist might be the monster.
The therapist?
It's a good guess.
So one thing this show has done really well, and if you haven't watched the show, I advise you to stay off social media.
It gives us
because I've seen so many articles like, you'll never believe this twist that comes in Wednesday, and I'm like, God damn, like, I'm trying to watch the show 1 episode at a time.
Yeah, my friends are like, I binge watched the show in 2 days. I'm like,
exactly. That's one of the things I don't like about Netflix and them dropping shows like all at once. Over on Comic Books Transformed, Pete's other channel, him and I are reviewing The Peripheral over on Prime Video. Amazon Prime drops shows like they do like the first 2 episodes, and then after that it's once a week, which allows you to kind of breathe old-fashioned TV, talk about it around the water cooler. You know, the problem with Netflix is if I watch episodes 1 through 4 and you binge it, then we can't really talk about the show because you're going to accidentally spoil stuff for me. But what I was going to say is if you
keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Well, episodes 1 through 4 do a really good job of creating a ton of red herrings. We don't know who the monster is yet.
We don't.
But they've kind of hinted it could be any of the characters that we've met. It could be Wednesday's therapist. It could be the principal. It could be Tyler. It could be Xavier. It could be the sheriff.
Well, I feel like it's not Xavier.
Okay. Well, yes, but they hinted at that. It could be this character Rowan, who we saw die and then come back.
Thornhill. It could.
It could be
because she is a normie. She's just a teacher working.
But she also snapped and went into the that secret library.
True.
So they've done a great job of kind of setting up every character we've met could be the monster that is like hunting this town and killing people. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, well, I just also want to shout out Victor Dorobantu, who is, he plays Thing. I've seen a bunch of videos online of him like crawling on the floor behind Jenna Ortega and, covered in the
green suit.
The suit, so that his hand is doing all the acting, but he's fantastic. Thing is a great character. We both love Thing. Enid loves Thing.
Enid does love Thing, and I do too. So, who's your favorite character? My
favorite character is Wednesday, but aside from her, it's probably Enid, just because of how much fun Enid has on the show.
Good guess.
But I love the way these episodes have incorporated musical numbers. Mm-hmm. Wednesday plays the cello. We've ended 2 episodes with incredible cello numbers that I can't imagine it's really Jenna Ortega doing it, but she's acting like she's playing the cello really well. And then obviously episode 4 has the dance sequence where they go to the Raven, which is the dance, and there's this phenomenal dance sequence that I'm sure is already a TikTok phenomenon. You're gonna have to learn that, and maybe we'll do a TikTok.
Oh,
who knows?
No, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But yeah, do you have any last thoughts on Wednesday episodes 1 through 4?
I thought they were really good. I can't wait to see who the monster is. I heard it's somewhere between episodes 7 and 8, so we gotta finish it.
Okay.
And my favorite character is Wednesday, Enid, and number 1, of course, is Thing.
I'm very happy that Tim Burton came back to this because this is right in his wheelhouse. This feels like Beetlejuice. This feels like there's also tons of little Easter eggs. There's a character right at the beginning of the first episode who is dressed exactly like Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. There's a ton of like little things like that where if you're a Tim Burton fan, you'll love them. This feels like classic Tim Burton. I feel like Tim Burton kind of strayed off the beaten path and went down the Johnny Depp went down the rabbit hole, no pun intended, with the Alice in Wonderland movies and Dark Shadows, and he kind of got lost in that, those weird movies. But this feels like that mid to late 80s, early 90s Beetlejuice, Sleepy Hollow, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman style Tim Burton that we all kind of fell in love with if you're my age.
I feel like these type of shows like Stranger Things and Wednesday, where it's like, it's scary, it's cool, it has action, it's really funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this show really
I
does
love
have it
those
all.
episodes.
I mean, and if you're a Stephen King fan, episode 4, The Dance, ends with a Carrie homage.
Yeah.
Where there's blood raining down on all the characters. So yeah, I can't wait.
paint.
I can't wait to watch the next 4 episodes.
It's
And
just
we'll
red
be
paint.
It's just red paint. We'll be back with episodes 5 through 8 very soon. Stay tuned for more videos. I got my Chucky season 2 review. I got the New York City Horror Film Festival coming up. And Pete and I have we have 4 reviews of Quiet Part Loud, great podcast over on Spotify, done by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions. So check all that stuff
Would you
out.
to
Like and
snap
subscribe. And you don't know how to snap. She has to learn how to snap.